We don't have to wait.
Short's about
15 days.
Right.
Well, technically, it gives it the same amount of time we have now. I mean, because if a
It's just a
bill,
15-day difference.
if a
That's
bill
it.
comes out today and I do not pay it, I'm getting cut off next
June
month
15th.
on the 15th.
So right now, we wouldn't be able to cut off until the end of June. So it's
But that-
really a 2-week difference.
Right. But if you're moving the 15 days forward, doesn't it work out to be the same? It's 45 days, right?
So
It's 45
it has
days after a read.
from the due date.
From arrears. Okay.
Yeah, so from July 15th, they're gonna be due. We won't be able to cut off until the end of
So it's
August.
it's a 2-week extension. I got it.
Right.
Okay.
So it's a 2-week difference
Okay. That makes sense.
You tracking, Julia?
versus a
Now,
month difference.
is moving the date forward? I'm pretty sure the law doesn't address it, but just to talk about it, it's allowable, right? To do.
My recommendation at this point, I'm cool with what the committee came up with, but let Julian chew on it for a week or two and then bring it back on the 20th. I think we still got time at the 20th meeting. But we presented to you tonight, but the one thing that I think that we did discuss that we really want to get resolved tonight is more of a discretionary issue of yours, where we've been giving you payment plans and that sort of thing and the extension. And I think the intention is that those extensions will be completely satisfied and no new ones issued
As of
at the end of June.
June 28th, all payment agreements and extensions should be satisfied because this new law will give them ample time, more
More
than
time
any
than-
extension would anyway, to pay.
We would like to resolve that tonight, make sure we got that.
So are you giving them, so if I came to you today, would you give me an extension?
Yep, right. So as of today, May 1st, it would be the normal, we're still gonna cut off May 16th. If you get an extension, you get your 10 days or your 15 days for a payment agreement.
So when is the last day you can get an extension?
It would be the June cutoff. The June cutoff will be the last day for payment agreements or extensions, and they have to be satisfied before July 1 when the new law passes.
Members of council, you've heard the manager's request. Is there a motion to, do away with the payment plans?
Payment agreements and
extensions?
extensions once the new law passes July 1st.
It's not, if we pass that, it's not us being sticklers up here, it's because the new law.
Gives them more time than that would anyway.
We're not taking anything away.
Right, they're getting more time now, right.
Let me ask you a question. If they're already on an extension at the end of June and we do roll over into July,
Well, our
they're gonna
plan
be
is,
45 days past due anyway, aren't they?
yeah, but the
So
plan
it's really
is,
not gonna affect us, just.
right,
leave it
when
the way it
customers
is.
call in at the June cutoff and ask, do I have an extension or payment agreement available?
No,
If they have one available in June, we were gonna give them until June 28th.
okay.
But it has to be satisfied by June 28th, and that would be for the May bill. So the May bills will be paid by June 28th.
So cutoff June 15th will still give an extension, but they've gotta be paid. by
It's
the
gotta be
20th.
paid before
I
July
got you.
1st.
I'm fine with it.
Cleaned off
Right.
before first.
The new fiscal year, slate clean, yeah.
Ms. Williams?
Yes,
Will we
ma'am.
be sending notification,
Oh,
in
yes.
the mail or something like that? so
Yes,
everybody
after the
knows?
May council meeting,
Surprises.
hopefully everything will be resolved and we'll be able to put a notice on the back of the utility bills, Facebook, website, wherever we can put a notice. And we have a copy of the notice, I think, in
I
here.
think it would be prudent in this case, council would authorize a small ad in the paper.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but I think if we do everything we can, then I think it would look better on our part. Council, is there a motion?
I'm sorry, before you go, I thought from health and ordinance that you had planned on doing a public hearing, and that's why you were discussing it tonight, so you have time to get in the paper.
Not the
for the public
cutoff
hearing.
part, but the
Okay.
other issues that
so-
we have. I do think because we're changing
Rates or method of payment?
method of payment, I do think it warrants a public hearing.
Okay.
I'm not worried about the extensions on the payment, that's just a council discretionary thing, but doing what we're doing by changing those payment dates, I think that's substantial enough. that,
So then we won't have the public hearing on the 20th, because we won't have time.
Well, public hearing is only required for 2 advertisements if it's a zoning or whatever. Tessie's recommendation to us was, whenever we did have a public hearing, even if the 2 advertisement dates prior to that were not required by state code, she says as a matter of practice, stick to the 2. And we've always done the 2. We will not have time to advertise it twice for a public hearing on the 20th.
But we're planning on coming back on the 5th.
There you go, we did on the 5th. That's fine.
But we can dispatch with the extensions and the payment plans tonight.
I do want to.
If council has a motion.
Does that mean June 5th?
We're gonna be over there, I prefer not do that,
Yeah,
cause that's
we don't,
comprehensive
yeah.
plan.
Right, then we won't be able to give notices on the back of the bills,
Okay.
because they'll be gone out 5 days prior.
So how would you want to do it, Mr. Nash?
Oh, this is for the staff.
I don't think statutorily you're obligated to advertise twice. But probably don't want the criticism of saying, well, you always advertise twice, why are you not advertising twice now? I think we can call it a public meeting, we can call it many things, but Tessie's recommendation, just so you know, was to stick with traditional 2 times, not more than 20 days or less than 5.
I apologize. If we notify the Courier Record by Friday, we can have it in on the 8th and the 15th before the 20th meeting.
Yeah, but you said you wanted him to review it before you did it, so do you have time to do that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll do the best we can to get it done.
Okay.
And
But you still want to dispatch with the payment
I
plan?
would like to, because I don't want people to continue setting up the payment.
And it would be good to go ahead and let the customers know ahead of time at this cutoff, hey, by the way, next cutoff, that will be it.
Right.
Yeah.
So after July first,
No payment agreements or extensions, and it's gonna be the 45 days after the due date for disconnection.
to approve that.
Thank you, Mr. Nash. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Gorman is properly second.
And to specify to everybody out there, it is not strictening our laws, it is just because the laws already enable that.
Right, yeah, they're gonna get ample time, 45 days from the due date to pay, and no late fees are changing, they're staying exactly the same.
Just so it's clear, can you state in your motion the date that it stops and all that stuff?
The last day of June. There will be-
June 28th, the last business day.
Of June, there will be no new payment agreements
Or
issued.
extension?
No, not issued, but the payment agreements have to be satisfied, is that also
Satisfied,
correct?
right.
Correct.
By the last day in June.
Yep.
Hold on, Philip, you said, but we're not gonna issue anymore, right?
After the June cutoff, we will not be issuing
After the
anymore.
June cutoff,
Right.
no more. So I think she's gonna continue standard practice, but everybody's gotta be paid up by the first. of the month.
Right.
So you will
Before the
issue
new law
payment
passes.
agreements or extensions up to a certain point. You say it's the June cutoff, so the 16th of June.
So, yeah, I guess the 16th, that's on a business day of June, we will disconnect. And if anyone has a payment agreement or extension available to them, they're welcome to get it, but it has to be paid by June 28th.
we
Right.
won't go
Yes.
past the
These are gonna be
20th.
lower bills too, so.
Right, so,
Yeah.
but my thing is, in other words, after July the 1st, there is no such
No more.
thing as a payment or nothing like that.
No, sir.
Okay,
That's
That's what I
correct.
wanted to clarify.
And we
That's
won't be
all.
cutting off for 45
That's
days.
what
Alright.
I wanted to clarify.
Members of council, is there any more discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? This motion carries 6-0. What's next? Motorless parade. You gonna take care of this, Mr. Manager, or you want me to muddle through it, or?
I'm gonna let the clerk muddle through it as the, Motorless Parade.
I got a question. This is SOP. Do we have to sit up here and discuss this? I mean, this is SOP, every year the same thing.
I do have to get it out here and get a motion.
I mean,
So go and make the motion.
I'll
And
make a motion that we permit the motorcade on, when is the date?
July 4th, and it will start at 10 a.m.
Make
Second.
a motion that we have the motorcade on July the 4th, starting at 10 o'clock.
Mr. Miller has moved.
Well, what a motorcade parade, whatever.
Mr. Miller has moved, and Mr. Page a second to permit this motorless motorcade or whatever we're
Parade.
doing here. Is there any discussion?
What is it?
I don't know.
Motorless parade.
Motorless parade.
Motorless parade.
Motorless parade.
I think the mayor should explain what it is.
But you just said we didn't.
How about
Our
this?
Rotary Club we gather and invite the public to ride your bikes, walk your dogs, walk, whatever. We start at the monument and go down to Sea Park where we have watermelon, water and
You
whatnot.
better get a
on
big
4th of
budget.
July.
They're bringing $25 a piece now.
Yeah,
Good day.
so that's what, it's a simple request.
Any more discussion? All those in favor in approving this request indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries 6-0. What do we, I don't have my agenda here, is it? Street closure on Luke Street. Mr. Manager, you're up.
I'm gonna ask the clerk to handle this one as well. I know very little.
I'm gonna
about
cut
it.
your pay, man.
Do you have that request in the packet?
I have it in red on the front there.
front,
This is how I emailed it to y'all to begin with, but there's a gentleman who says that his son is in the military and has just gotten married and has not been here for 2 years, and so they want to have a block party, I guess. He said he has contacted the neighbors. He asked for 3 days, and I said that might be a bit much. 2 days is still pushing it, so anyway, the request is in there.
Which block?
So it is, Luke Street from Amelia to Freeman, which is that first little block when you turn off of Amelia onto Lick Street.
What
Who's
kind of
this
hours?
individual? Who's the
It
individual?
says in here, 7 p.m. to midnight.
It's a little long.
Who's the individual?
I don't remember his name. He spoke to, the receptionist, and I happened to walk up when they were talking, so I tried to help him out a little.
Is it a town resident
I
or
have his name,
outside agency or town resident?
I think, let me make a suggestion here.
Are you offering a motion?
No, I just wanna ask a question, if you can table this until the 20th meeting.
do you need more specifics, or what do you?
Well, the correct term would be postponed.
Postpone until the next,
Well,
next
you can
council
offer a
meeting.
motion, we'll take it up.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we postpone this until the next regular meeting.
Is there a second?
A second.
Mr. Gorman, second. Discussion, Mr. Page?
Yeah, would you mind amending your motion just so that we can handle it? I got some calls from residents about that thing at the end of Blackstone over there. They were upset that they were, the noise ordinance was waived and they didn't get notification. Is there a way that we could advertise that we're thinking about waiving that noise ordinance in case anybody wants to come on the 20th that's in opposition to it?
I think we need, I agree with you, yes, but I think 2 nights
Well,
is extreme personally,
think-
but I think
yeah.
midnight is way too late.
But at least give any of the neighbors who may be in opposition.
Well, we got a motion and a second. You, fine to discuss. If you wanna make a substitute motion, I'd entertain that. Okay. I think they've heard your request. Is there any other?
Willing to amend your motion to include that?
Include what?
Just notifying the public that we're considering waiving the noise ordinance for those days.
Chris is just saying he wants people to be able to come and speak the night that we do bring this up.
Okay.
In case there's anybody who's,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I don't have a problem with that.
All right.
And how would you like me to?
put that in the paper like we notify them on every,
Sorry, say that again?
put that in the paper like we notify everything else.
Public hearing?
Public hearing, there you go.
No, don't say
Not a
public
public
hearing.
Say
Yeah.
public hearing, but an opportunity.
Public notice.
Yeah, public notice.
Public notice.
We don't normally do that for waivers, do we? On those orders?
I've never done that one.
Yeah, but it,
It takes some heat for not doing it.
yeah, and I agree. We need to allow the opportunity for people to speak against it as well.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm cool with shutting the street down and letting them have the party. I just don't know what the neighbors are. That's all.
Well, won't you send a letter to those that would be affected on Luke Street? And also do one ad in the paper, a public notice that we're gonna take it up on the 20th, I believe is our meeting. Okay? Is that agreeable to you?
That's agreeable.
Do I have a motion from Mr. Miller and a second from Mr. Gormas? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries 6-0. Is there anything else to come before the council?
Thank you, Judge. I'd like to speak to you in a
Closed session, anything before that? I don't see, Mr. Harp, I don't see where we'll come back and do any action tonight, do you?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, so I'm getting ready to go into closed session. I don't think, we're gonna go in closed session for legal matters to be briefed by the attorney. I don't think we're gonna come back out and take any action tonight. Members of council, if you have anything that you'd like to take up now, let's hear it. I don't wanna tell people we're not gonna do it. And then, so, I don't hear any, so, Madam Clerk, if you, I tell you what, we're staying in recess for 3 minutes after we vote to go into closed session. So do you have a motion prepared?
No, I didn't know we were going to go session, so.
I knew that.
I'm
Madam
sorry.
Clerk, I have a motion I've typed up here I can read for the
Okay,
council.
thank you.
Sure. All right, so, are we going to recess, Mr. Mayor, or do you want me to read this?
3 minutes. Tell them.
Go ahead and do it, and then we're gonna recess, let everybody crowd out. Let the crowd get out. So we're ready for your motion, Mr. Harf.
Yes, sir. All right, so the motion goes like this. I move that the town council convene a closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A8 for consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by a public body regarding leasing of the Harris Street property, which requires the provision of legal advice by such counsel.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Nash has moved and Ms. Williams is second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. We are now in closed session and in a 3